Hey, Nicole from Tax Wars. I'm just coming to you with a new tip from the IRS. As we've gone over before, the IRS is encouraging people to pretty much hurry up with their filings for 2021 and get those in as soon as possible. They definitely don't want people waiting until the last minute. So the deadline for people who filed extension is that October 15th deadline for 2022. That is to file your 2021 tax returns. But IRS, as we know, has been encouraging people to get those filed as soon as possible. Since they are behind with processing, they want to make sure that they don't get backed up when everyone decides to file last minute on the same day. So they have sent out an announcement or just a tip. It's the issue number COVID Tax Tip 2022-15. This can be found on the IRS website. We will definitely include this in the description below so that you can easily find the link and you can access the information yourself. This is going to be just a list that you should encourage your clients to bring in when they come for their tax appointment. Or if you're a taxpayer, these are things that you're definitely going to want to have on hand when you go to your tax appointment, just so that you're not pushing things out and having to come back in or send additional documents. This is what you need to make sure that you have. So they're titling this Taxpayers should be sure to have all their info before going to a tax pro. Taxpayers using tax professionals should make sure that they have all their information readily available before their appointment. And I do agree with IRS on this. As tax professionals, we know it is kind of difficult to go back and forth with clients. If they only bring in part of their documents, then they need to go back and get other documents. Sometimes it can be days, weeks, even months before they come back with those. So it is definitely important to have everything in order and ready to go when you go see your tax professional. Collecting the information and getting copies of any missing documents before taxpayers sit down to prepare their tax return is critical to filing an accurate tax return. Having organized records and information in hand prevents filing errors and will likely create a smoother filing experience. So this is word for word from the IRS website. This is what the IRS is suggesting. And then this is just a list of the information that taxpayers may need. Now, obviously, not all of these will apply to everyone, but most of these will, especially if you have kids. There are a couple things extra that you will need to bring this year that you didn't have to bring in previous years. So here is the list according to the IRS. First would be social security numbers of everyone listed on your tax return. So you definitely want to make sure you have those. Any of the dependents that you're filing or including on your tax return, kids, brothers, sisters, whoever you were taking care of during the year, just make sure you have their social security numbers. Ideally, if you have a copy of their social security card, that is best, just to prevent any errors. Next would be bank account routing and account numbers for direct deposit information if you're going to be getting a refund. Also, if you're going to owe money and you want to make a payment, you can include that information on the tax return in the form of the routing and account number, and then the IRS can just pull the money directly from your account as soon as the tax return is filed. You want to bring your Form W-2s if you're an employee. You want to bring your Form 1099. If you're an independent contractor, it would be the 1099 NEC form. If you have any interest, it'd be 1099 interest. We have 1099K. Just all the 1099s that you would have from anybody that you're receiving any income from during the year. So also there would be 1099 from the state if you received any unemployment, any dividends that you received, any distributions from a pension, annuity, or retirement. You'd receive a 1099-R for those retirement payments. So as I said earlier, 1099 interest, that would be from interest received. That could be from banks. That could be from mortgage companies if you had any interest that you received while doing a refinance or anything to that effect. So you definitely want to make sure not to miss any of those. And then the other important thing this year would be any documents that you receive or that your taxpayers received as far as any crypto exchanges that they did. So a lot of people were buying and selling Bitcoin, Ethereum, different coins there. So they definitely want to make sure that you have not only the amount that you received, the amount that you had for proceeds when you sold the stock, but also the cost that you had incurred when you purchased the Bitcoin or the coins, so that can be included and you don't end up paying too much tax on your crypto sales. Another important thing would be a 1095A. So that's from the health insurance marketplace, especially if you received a premium tax credit, then this is an important form, because without this, the IRS e-file won't even go through. So you'll get the tax professional will get an e-file rejection if they don't have this form and the information entered properly. Another issue could be if it's filed without this, the IRS will come back and request that document from you, and they will adjust the tax return, and you could end up owing money later just based on premium tax credit and what your current income is. Another important one, as I was saying earlier, for people who have children, would be the letter 6419, which is the 2021 Total Advanced Child Tax Credit Payment Form. This reconciles the advanced child tax credit payments that were received in the later months of 2021, rather than getting those all on the 2021 tax return once that's filed. So that form is very important. Once again, the IRS does keep track of this information. So if they did pay out some advanced child credit money to you last year, then they will adjust that once your tax return is filed, and that might end up causing some issues. You could even end up owing money if that's not taken into account when you file your tax return. Another important form would be the letter 6475, which reviews your economic impact payments. So this determines your eligibility for the recovery rebate credits, which is a very complicated way of saying if you missed your stimulus payment, you can claim it on your 2021 tax return. If you did receive the stimulus payment, then you would receive this letter. So just bring it in, let your tax professional know that you did already receive it, and that would just eliminate any issues with that. And then any other information that you have to support any claims. If you take any tuition deductions, make sure you have your 1098-Ts. Make sure you have all of your information, especially if you're a business filing with Schedule C, or if you're an independent contractor filing with Schedule C, you'll want your income and expense information there as well. I know most of us tax professionals will issue tax organizer to the taxpayers to kind of help them get everything in order. But the IRS does just want to remind you that there are a few additional items that aren't normally included on the tax returns for 2021. So if you have any questions, please feel free to list those below in the comments. We will definitely do what we can to assist you. And once again, IRS does have all this information, so they do match up. The computer will match up everything electronically. And if there is an issue on your tax return, you could receive a notice in the mail saying that they're adjusting the refund, or even that you owe money if things aren't input properly. So you'll definitely want to make sure to do that. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.